Once upon a time, there was a small nation called Avilion, which was ruled by a generous and kind-hearted lord. His people called him Lord Arthur. Unlike the other monarchies on the western continent, the Lord does not judge people based on their status in Avilion. His servants were chosen both for their talents and their skills. Family names or clans have no power in Avilion. Avilion is currently in peace, but it was not always this way. 50 years ago, there was a devastating war called the Second War of Tyrants, where people on the continent fought for their own lives against evil deities. These evil deities were called the Great Old Ones, and they want to destroy humanity just for their own amusement. The previous lord made a pact with an ancient dragon to make sure that the people in Avilion were safe. Long story short, the evil deities are finally pushed back to their realms by the power of the 12 legendary heroes. Ancient artifacts chose these heroes to be their masters and fight the evil deities. When the war ended, the ancient dragon died after using all of his power to protect the people of Avilion. The dragon fulfilled his promise, and the previous lord put his body next to the Avilion throne as a reminder of his sacrifice. After the previous lord passed away, his successor, Arthur, took his throne. Unlike the previous lords, however, Arthur has neither the physical strength to fight nor good swordsmanship, but he was blessed with a great knowledge and ingenuity. All of Avilion's problems were solved only with his brain and without violence. That explains why Avilion does not have its own general or tactician, because the Lord thought of all the tactics. However, peace does not last long. Under Lord Arthur's reign, there was one count who started a rebellion against him. One day, when Lord Arthur and his secretary, Raihan, were discussing the country's economic problems, his loyal knights, Sir Johann and Lady Fram, rushed to open the Avillion's cathedral's door. When the Lord was about to ask what had happened, suddenly Count Oswald and his personal army stood in front of him.
Greetings, Arthur, ruler of Avilion.
How long it's been, Count? You brought guards into the audience chamber. What's the occasion?
Wahahaha. Don't play the fool. Avilion needs a strong leader, not one as feeble as you. I will never recognize your authority. That is why I, Oswald, the Golden Lion of the North, will be relieving you of your place on the throne.
I see. You are dissatisfied with your current situation. I'm getting bored with how predictable you are. Knights, entertain our guests, will you?
Perfect timing. My hands were itching for a fight.
Treason is an unpardonable offense, Count Oswald.
I'll take command. Get into formation. Fram, you attack the soldier dressed in red.
Immediately, Lord Arthur took over the command and set up a defense line in front of him with Sir Johann and Lady Fram as the vanguard. The Lord asked Oswald what his purpose was and what he wanted to do after taking the throne. Strangely, Oswald's answer does not feel like one that a rebellious person would give, but rather like it was properly made, as if someone had told him to answer it that way. Dissatisfied with his answers, the Lord ordered Sir Johann, who is the leader of Evelyn's knights, and Lady Fram to break through Count Oswald's formation. Unfortunately, Oswald was able to escape to the Nibelung woodlands, a forest near the Evelyn border. Without wasting any time, Arthur quickly gathered the troops and also prepared supplies to go after Oswald. The next day, the Lord, Sir Johann, and Lady Fram began their pursuit of Oswald. In addition, they were also accompanied by Lady Charlotte and a ranger, Sir Mikhail. In pursuit of Oswald, the Lord encountered some bandits who slowed him down. The bandits' movements and formations were too organized. They were not like an ordinary bandit's movements. After a week, they finally reached the border between Nibelung woodlands and Rodon, a powerful military country. Just before Rodon, Count Oswald stood before the Lord. Beside Oswald, there was a tall figure who appeared to be a woman. The woman introduced herself as a knight vice commander of Rodon's legendary Order of Thorns, Zaira. It turns out that the Count Oswald and Rodon have each conspired to overthrow Evelyn in the southern part of the western continent.
Took you long enough. I was tired waiting for you.
It seems that Lord Arthur knew that Oswald was working with Rodon long before he chased Oswald into the Nibelung woodlands. After that skirmish, Arthur ordered his troops to fall back immediately and not to chase Zaira down. Afterward, Oswald's title was revoked and he became a prisoner. A few days later, Lord Arthur and his loyal knights debate whether to attack Rodon for what they did or approach them diplomatically. He and his knights agreed to make a diplomatic approach, but Evelyn's representative is denied entry into Rodon by Rodon's ruler, Charles Giroux III. Arthur then had no choice but to invade Rodon.
Even though humanity survives against a common enemy and drives them away, they'll always be searching out from enemies and will never be satisfied with what they have.